the difference between your dad and mine? See, mine, you'll hear from him. You will hear from him.
Oh my, that's why the screaming matches.
Yeah. I also had to, like, it was coming up in my relationships now, you know? Daddy issues, you know?
Hi, I'm here, what do you do?
Daddy issues, Zako.
Oh my goodness.
There's a line. Don't bleed on people who didn't cut you. Are you ever going to invite your dad, Sisicha?
Yeah.
Okay.
Too many people have asked that.
Yeah, I'm thinking now. Actually, like,
I owe you guys a 2-hour special.
The one person who's responsible for this. Is he ever going to suggest?
I think both of them.
Okay.
If there's a part of the fatherhood story that we relate to so much, it's the part that tells us and shows us and reveals to us that our fathers pick and choose when to show up and how to show up. There's nothing as saddening and heartbreaking as that. Whenever they want to show up, they do. And whenever they don't feel like it, they just don't. And we just need to roll with the punches. The children in the stories are the ones who need to deal with whatever comes their way. Are we not too little and too fragile for all of that pain? Welcome to the Father Wound podcast. I'm your host, Keamogetswe Matlala, dressed by YST to the nines. And we're connected by Oppo. Today, we have an amazing guest. I'll tell you this, né? I might not tell you a lot about this person, but I'll tell you this. We met when we were both trying to conquer the edge.
Yes.
If you know the edge, you know the edge. And we were rusty. Yeah, no. We were rusty, we were crusty. We didn't know if we were even going to make it out alive. But the fact that you're seeing us here right now means we did, and we're doing so well in our respective fields. That, for me, already deserves a champagne. Pity we only have a water. But then again, I'm going to ask you to help me welcome Mncedisi Sindane to the Father Wound podcast. If you thought he doesn't have daddy issues, we find out today if Sindane.
Yeah. Crazy.
And what's the story there? I don't want to lie. When he first gave me a glimpse of his story, I was gobsmacked.
Really?
I did not expect it.
Why?
I don't know. Like it was just too familiar to my story, and it carried part of it that I thought wasn't a thing. Like, what do you mean your father came or was around at some point or never even around? And then boom, telegi out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And how we start the conversation on the podcast is we ask where you are in terms of the spectrum of the fatherhood story, right? Or the fatherhood experience. As a son, did you experience your father as a present, an absent, or a complicated father?
Okay. Thanks for having me, first of all.
Oh, yay!
Yay.
Long time coming.
Oh, yes. And I don't mind that we don't have champagne. I don't drink anymore. Yeah, so this is great.
I love that I accommodated
yeah,
you.
Bon, it's like you own, we are connected. It's like you knew. Where am I on the spectrum? I think first, the relationship with my dad is complicated. But I think we are in a good place now, or we're working towards a good place. At least me. I think a large part of the language I've had to contend with is actually maybe defining my relationship with my dad doesn't have to be a two-way thing to say where is he, where am I, but more of a where am I. And I think where I am on I'm on a journey to being good. With him. So I think complicated describes it because I can't say he's absent because he's not. But not really present either. So,
and I like that you're mentioning that because it speaks to how I also obviously introduced this episode where it's like, okay, cool. On the day that they want to, they do. On the day that they don't, they don't. And how do you then navigate? Let's take it back to when you were then younger, actually, because now you're an adult. whether they text or not, it's neither here nor there. You have a whole life, right, of your own. But now, as a child, you don't seem to reconcile with the fact that, oh, but yesterday we were good, you were texting back. Today, why are you not texting back?
Sure.
How did you navigate that as a child?
You know, funny, I think my relationship with my dad has always been volatile. In that when it's good. And when it was bad, it was very bad. And I'm thinking now, when you're saying this, even the presentness now, I put it to you that like, sometimes we are the reasons that they are not there because we drew a boundary. But the boundary is still their fault because when we were younger, they taught us how to draw a boundary to not need them, right? So there are also certain times when I'm like, oh, I feel like I need this guy now. And now that our relationship is on the mend, I'm not going to reach out. But I'm also like learning not to have that as my fault. To say, oh, it's my fault that I'm not reaching out because if I did reach out, he'd be there. But there's a reason why I'm not reaching out because that's not natural to me. So yeah, as a child, it was very volatile.
He was just never on the top 3 people you would call if you're stranded somewhere or you're in an emergency.
No.
How sad is that? Because with a father, that's a figure in your life that's supposed to have your back like that strong, you know? Come hell or high waters at night, this is a protective figure.
Yeah.
You know, that's supposed to protect you at all times.
It's interesting we say that because I feel like I never knew that. Because in my formative years, you see, I think we learn how to categorize relationships through doing, right? So like my mom was always there, so I know if something goes wrong, the first person I'm going to call is my mom.
Mommy.
But because I never had that thing, that's not what fatherhood means to me. So could I say I was sad? I don't know. In retrospect, I would have liked to be able to call my dad, you know, and say, yo, dad, like it's not going well. But it was never an option available to me because I just never felt that he would, or the setup never allowed for that.
And is there a memory that you tap into or you go to in your mind that kind of soothes your heart whenever you have questions about why not, regarding your relationship with your father and how it turned out? Could be a birthday party, could be, you know?
No. A large part, look, I've got fond memories of the times when he was there. I can say that my dad loved me. And my dad is a very affectionate man, or at least he was affectionate to me. So he would hug me and he would kiss me. And so those are fond things, I guess. Then I can say I remember those because then I can say I know that he loved me. I can't explain why the actions were what they were. But I guess I can say that the love was there.
And when the love stopped showing itself in the kisses and the hugs, did you ever miss them? And how would you verbalize that also? Because you're young. You just know you need something that you were used to getting, and now it's not there, and you're just like, who do I even tell? Because even the person is not here.
Funny, the volatile then comes back because when they stopped, that's when the volatile started. My dad and I used to have like screaming matches with each other on the phone. And I was a kid, right? I was a kid.
Do you remember at what age was this?
I must have been about like 10-ish. After 10, because the last time I went to go visit my dad's family was in 2007 and I was 10. And the next time I went was January this year, it's 2026. So you can imagine the time gap. So the in-between was the volatile. So I never had the language, and I guess I never verbalized it because then I was also so angry. We were fighting, man. Like at the time, he was like, you're not my son. Nah. And,
not my son.
Yeah.
Damn,
like,
you were kissing and hugging me. Child, what was that about?
Nah, I'm not your son.
Oh, man.
When it stopped, it was volatile. It was constant fighting, screaming at each other, and. So I guess I never got around to actually even missing it. Because actually, I never did. The good was so quickly replaced with the bad. I never even found time to mourn the good, to say, this is what it used to be, and yeah.
And then did he Because I know when that shift happens, in most cases, they obviously go out and have their own families.
Yes.
Other families.
Yeah.
And you're not the family anymore.
Yeah.
And as a child, that breaks your heart. Like, I don't care how ignorant you are of it, but it hits you at times, Uti. There's a child out there who gets to experience those hugs and kisses every day now.
Yeah.
And you don't.
Yeah.
And probably that also fueled their anger even more.
It did. It did. I think, so I'm not my dad's first child, right? He's got older children. I am not also his eldest son. But you know, when you become smart enough to understand the fact that you are not the first, so maybe there's another one who looks at you and thought, but then I always hoped that I would be the last, not the last sibling, but maybe our family unit would be the last unit. And when I went to visit my grandparents when I was 10 years old, my dad had already moved on. He already had another family. And so there was this new mom, and there were these new kids that, you know, I had to be okay with, because you're a kid, so you can't exactly not be okay, you know. And it did hurt, because they had a stable home and they had both parents. And look, for all their faults, for his faults, he's still their dad, you know. He's still dad who comes home at night and eats dinner at home and wakes up, and there's a routine. And, you know, it did hurt. And I think actually maybe the older I grew, those maybe are things that I missed. I wondered when your own friends say, oh, Endlini, we don't drink from a cup like a or
you're just like,
yeah, I don't know what that's like, but that would have been nice, you know. It would have been nice to have the fear of, I broke my father's plate.
oh, you don't sit on daddy's chair.
Yeah. So it did hurt, because there are siblings that did receive that. And now that I'm older, I've gotten to learn that maybe they didn't receive what I imagined they received, but to me, they still got something. They still got him, and I didn't. So, yeah, that sucks.
When do you start verbalizing all of this? Or are you just, as a child, packing it up inside, waiting for a day where it all just goes kaboof?
Oof. I think I started verbalizing, I was in high school maybe. I think maybe around grade 9. So the surname I use is not my dad's surname. I've got my mom's surname. And when the magical appearance then comes back, it's like, oh, I want you to take my surname. Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah. Which was part of the big fights, you know.
So casually, excuse me, where have you been? Oh, definitely it would end in a screaming match with me as well.
Yeah. So the question is like, oh, I want you to take my surname. And I think that fight, or those series of fights, then gave birth to the verbalization of, but you can't. And his then rebuttal is, oh, but you are so young. I hoped that now that you are grown up, you will understand and you will forge your own way. So then I'm like, no, but you can't do that, because you are not here. And I didn't have this language then, but now I'm like, I'm even ashamed to carry your name. I can't even with pride go out and say, yeah, this is my father's name, because what does that mean really?
And also, what have you taught me that comes with the surname for me to even carry on to the next generation? You haven't taught me. I know nothing about your lineage, heritage.
I don't speak your language. I know my grandparents because I remember them from young memories, but I don't know this family.
You don't have a relationship with this.
No, I don't. Not with my new siblings, with old siblings. I don't know these people.
So not even considering, okay, cool, I'll do right by you traditionally. Yeah. He was suggesting that you guys just go to home of his.
No, so he wanted to have the traditional conversations. Okay. Oh, I want to talk to your grandfather, this, that, and the other. But I just never understood why he just never did it.
Back then?
No, like even now when he's having the go. You know where they are.
Yeah, don't just...
God rest my grandfather's soul. He's passed now. But back then he was. I mean, my grandfather died in 2019. And I was already in like, what, third year varsity.
So he still had a lot of time.
Between 2012 and 2019. Don't tell me, go do it. Like, I mean, where was I when you decided you want to shell out my mother and, you know, like, so.
And make a child.
So why am I in this now, you know?
Yeah.
Because even at 15, bro, I'm just a kid. So you are my parents. So if you stepped up and you go and you do the right things, you don't have to ask me if I want to do it. I'm a kid.
I like that we are getting into the delicacy of the surname situation, right? Because I went through exactly the same thing.
Oh, no.
With me, it just had my stepdad also to it. So at 15, my stepdad marries my mom. And this whole time I was using my mom's maternal surname. Yeah. And so, how? Chigi, after my stepdad marries my mom, traditionally, Nami Umtati.
Oh, so he lobolad you.
I'm also now his child. I'm supposed to be taking his surname.
Yes.
At the time, just like, I'm too old now to be taking a surname because in 10 years' time, well, 10 years has buzzed, but in 10 years' time, I'm going to get married. Guys, let 20 years not pass.
Okay,
yeah, but for me, it was a matter of, I'm going to change my surname now, and then a few years down the line, I'm going to change my surname again because now I'm going to get married. I'm a girl. It's unlike when you're a boy. It's different because now you're going to keep that surname but with me, I'm going to change my surname again. So now in my lifetime, I've had 3 surnames.
Did you mind though? My question is, what value do you then attach to the surname?
To his surname or my maternal?
To any, by the way. Because I mean, you carried your maternal one, then your stepdad then wanted to marry you, which meant changing, and then your future husband is going to marry you, then you're going to... So what value do you place then on the surname?
So my value was, I need to be accepted in... Because I'm a spiritual baby.
Okay.
So the girl that I go into, I'm invested. And whoever owns the girl that I'm in controls my spirituality as well. So for me, it was that thing, Yoguti. All this time, I have Baholo Matlala. Those are the Baholos that raised me. Now I'm going to get into another galway. Introduction, then they says out, okay, this child is ours now and all of that. Just as they're about to get a grip over me.
Get a handle on you, then you're moving again.
Now I'm moving to a different kahal. So do you understand the spiritual efforts and the drainage that might just come from me in that sense? Guys, I've been in 3 different girls in my lifetime, and they all require certain things. They all move differently. They all speak differently. They all follow different values. I'm only one person.
Yeah, and I'm just a girl.
I'm just a baby. But now you would think that's enough. Then my real dad comes along, my biological dad.
What was his story?
At 18 years, we kind of start mending a little bit. It gets somewhere 2019, then it develops and it grows. But somewhere between 2018, 2019, when he's just gotten back, he makes mention of, oh, I actually want to do right. And have you take my surname. I'm just like, Chummy, you had 19 years to do that. My grandparents never changed their home address. The same place you came to bring a napkin.
Is the same
the
place?
nappies, the pampas, the huggies. It's the same place you could have went to all these somewhere.
Yeah.
One day from these 19 years.
Yeah.
And said, I want my child to carry my surname. Now you want to do that at 19 years old. So the same energy I obviously directed towards my stepdad about this conversation.
Yeah.
I said to my biological dad, no.
You know, I ask what value you place on the surname is because as wrong as they might have done us, they're still our fathers, right? So I wanted to then figure out, did you maybe feel then maybe taking your stepfather's surname is a betrayal to your real father?
No.
No.
That's why I'm even mentioning this part where I'm saying, even to him, when
Yeah.
he brought it to the table to be like, I want you to give my surname, I said no. Like it's late. I'm 19. Years down the line, I'm gonna change my surname again. Guys, come on.
I have an identity, bro.
I already have a sense of belonging with this family.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm in a place where I'm not meant to be. No. At no point are these elders gonna say, Asma's,
Asimfuni.
they raised me.
Yeah.
When none of y'all were in my life,
Yeah.
they carried me. They
Yeah.
gave me the blessings.
Yeah.
Listen, they made sure my upbringing wasn't the worst.
I'm who I am today because of them. Yeah.
The fact that you're even having a conversation with me like this,
Yeah.
and Ngupa, the mind that I have, because of them.
100%.
So if you really want to do right by me, I see how you're going to do that. But now it was too difficult for him at the time because it meant he was going to have to fetch me from my stepdad and no longer from my mom's side because I am married
You are
now.
lobola now. Hey.
Do you see?
That's crazy.
So
how did he take it?
I don't think he took it well. But how my dad responds to such situations is through silence.
Oh.
He shuts down because also it forces him to admit to his faults. Because had you done right,
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be in anyone's skull.
That's the difference between your dad and mine. See, mine, you'll hear from him.
Uza.
You will hear from him.
That's why the screaming matches.
Yeah. And I think mine has he's not great with accountability. He'll say, yeah, it's my fault, but there'll always be a but. And at the end, it will never be really, it's never.
And it will come back to you again.
Yeah. It's never, it's my fault, full stop. I was wrong, full stop. So that's the difference between my dad and yours.
And then the surname, you guys finally, how did it then end? Because now, 2019, your grandfather passes, the one person he was meant to go to.
Yes.
How does their conversation now develop from having wanted to do that and now you can't even do it?
No.
Or it's more complicated now because the person you owed this to
is gone. Yeah. Fast forward to 2025, last year, December. The mending is now starting. We're now talking.
It's still fresh.
Yeah, it's still fresh. So then he brings this up again, right? And I've had now time to think and process. And now I know my own mind now. I'm very clear. So then the next de facto would then be my uncle, my eldest uncle who's alive. And I remember just thinking, okay, and he's intent on doing this, but I thought, no, I'm not going to do it. And I had to have a conversation with my mom, obviously, which I never then had because I then made up my mind to say, I'm not going to do it. Because for me, see, you are going to get married and you're going to change your surname. For me, this is a legacy thing. This is legacy business.
As soon as you step in, it's forever.
You know what I mean? And for me, it's about my mom's legacy. I think she deserves to reap the fruits and the rewards of her work and her sacrifice. And kamnandi game now with the line of work that I do, that comes with world recognition. So I'm not now going to deprive my mom
and give it to somebody who probably doesn't even know your shoe size.
I can't. Yeah, boy. So that's the decision that I have made to say I will not be changing my surname, and not as a rebellion, not to say, I feel like you are not there, you don't deserve it, but more as a respect thing to my mother, to say, hey, look, I see you, and thank you. And when I'm on TV and that super strap goes, it will say Sindane, to also honor my grandparents and the people who raised me, to say these are the fruits of your labor and your sacrifice. Look at him fly, look at him go, and he carries your name.
And how did he take that? From that perspective, did he understand it now?
I don't think he'll ever understand. I don't think he'll ever fully come to terms.
And you're not even expecting him to. You're just like,
and I'm not. And I don't hold that against him. But this is my decision. I will honor him as my father because God tells me to say, honor your father, honor your mother. So I'll honor him. I'll be his son, and I'll say that I'm his son, and I'll do the things that I expected of me as a son, but I unfortunately cannot carry his name. Yeah, I can't.
How do you get to a point where you both make a conscious decision to now have a full-on relationship as father and son?
I had to make that concession.
Oh, it's, as
Yeah.
a child, it's you again.
Again, it's me.
Don't these people know
It's
that
me
they have?
again.
Oh.
Remember when I said to you in the beginning that like the language, I then now had to contend that it's me. I must make a decision to say, how do I want to proceed? And I was tired of the anger, man. Oh, I was tired of the anger. You know,
heavy.
yeah, it's heavy. When he calls and I must look at it and not answer. Hey man, no, it's
But also, why
heavy.
is he calling?
To tell me he loves me, Pella.
Oh, he still told you he loved you.
Yeah. My dad's very affectionate.
No, now I need to understand. Then why
Yeah.
did he even make you or put himself in a position where you even doubt the love
Yeah.
if he felt it so strongly to even pick up his phone at random times to tell it to you?
You know, part of growing up, because I'm thinking about having kids now, you
Yeah.
know, and I'm wondering, I'm like, yo, am I gonna be a good dad? Like, what are my kids gonna say about me? Considering like, I know everything now, they know nothing, you know what I mean? And I sort of had to say to myself, but what if like, he didn't know, you know? Like, I'm giving grace.
Oh my God, but you're not the firstborn. You
I'm-
learn with the firstborn.
That's true, but like, yeah, I have to give grace for my sake because otherwise I'll never
I
move
need
on.
you to teach us your ways.
Yeah.
Because this is not it. I need you to teach us your, maybe take me back to the day or the moment where you're like, I'm finally letting go of this anger. And whatever this man did, I'm going to forgive him, even though I'll never hear and I'm sorry from him.
I think it had a lot to do with my grandparents.
Okay.
My grandparents are getting older. I think in the past 2 years, you know, we move away from home. Home is in Mpumalanga for me. And every time I go home to visit, I used to have a radio gig. And this radio gig meant that I couldn't go home. At the peak of this radio gig, I was doing weekend breakfast, which then means, you know, you can't be at home over weekends. And every time I would go home, it would smack me across the face, the fact that my mom is growing older. And I am missing these things. But great, because I speak to my mom every day. But like in the physical, you then see a realistic representation of what it looks like when time is moving.
Yeah.
And I thought about my grandparents. And I thought about how, shame, they've probably had such a longing for me for so long, but they didn't know what to do or how to go about it. And because I'm also so angry now, I don't want to hear, and because here's this one, you know? And then I realized that I want to mend those relationships. And it meant mending the relationship with him. I also had to, like, it was coming up in my relationships now, you know? Daddy issues, you know?
Oh, Ziveleziti, hi, I'm here, what do you do?
Daddy issues zako.
Oh my goodness.
There's a line, don't bleed on people who didn't cut you. Yeah. Yeah. So, I then had to, I knew it started there. And I had to forgive him. And it then meant going back. I even went to therapy for it. It then meant going back to then figuring out, where did it go wrong? Where do these feelings stem from? What are the memories that are triggers for me? What are the things that I think about that make me angry, you know? And how do I move past those? And a large part of that then meant figuring out which part is my story and which part is inherited beef.
Hey. Now you're choosing your battles wisely.
Now I have to choose my battles because there's anger that is not mine to carry. Yes, how he treated my mother was unfair, but that's not my anger to carry. That's a them thing. That's a Mjolo thing. You know what I mean? Mine is the father thing.
You were not there when it even started. Come on.
Yeah. Mine is the father thing. So, okay, Did this man love me? Yes, he did. Do I remember him hugging me and kissing me? And do I have fond memories of him? Yes, I do. Do I have not great memories? Yes, I do. Where did the disconnect happen? And how do I then go back to reconciling myself? And then finding my way to then saying, you know what? Everything happened. We can't erase history, but I'm willing to say from here on, I'm starting fresh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was powerful.
Oh, wow.
Oh, damn. How did it start leaking into umjolo? Because I think that's the part of our daddy issues stories that we do not explore enough.
Yeah.
We are so quick to put them under the rug because, why would a boyfriend trigger whatever I have with my dad? Ooh. They do.
They do.
How did that start pouring into your relationships?
It goes back to the which parts of the story do not belong to me. I saw the fights between my parents. And for a better part of my life, I thought to myself, oh, but my mom was just fine. My mom said no to all of that. And look at her, she's fine, she's thriving. But I don't know that. How do I know that she's really fine? I don't know that. So I went into relationships with that attitude.
I can say no to everything and not even compromise.
Yeah.
I'm
but
gonna be fine.
Not even not like compromise. Like it was hard for me to reconcile during fights. Because then I was like, I can be angry and this can be my anger and my anger can be final and we can really move our separate ways and I'll be fine. And that's not true.
And that's not healthy.
And that's not healthy. So I then had to realize like, hey, yeah, I had anger, man. And and it used to be a thing where I attribute to myself to say, I know how to be angry. And I know how to give like lashings, like verbally. I know how to be angry.
Powerful.
Yeah. And that's not a good thing. That's not healthy. That's not okay.
That's not something we should even take pride in.
No. And I don't want to attribute that to myself. I don't want to be angry.
And words cut deeper because physical wounds are which is spirit, it's going to be
if
words.
you have bio oil,
you'll be fine. Yeah. Words though.
Words, they live forever.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to be a character trait of mine to say, oh, and yeah, he knows how to lash you down with his tongue, you know? I don't want that anymore.
And you're tired.
Tired. I need to let it go.
And you had to face this man.
Yeah. And I had to tell him to say, hey, dude, like,
stops here.
Which is why they'll get the letter. Which is why writing the letter was so difficult for me. Because a lot of the things I had said, right? And I told him. And I said, you are not fair. And because my dad can also get angry. I think my mom and my dad have equal tempers. So I imagine me
they match.
They match, yeah. I had to tell him to say, it's not okay. Like the way you're handling things is not okay. The way, if you're told you're wrong, you just want to then, burst out and lash with your tongue. That's not okay. Because why can't we have constructive conversations and receive feedback, which is things that I then learned from my friends, to be able to go into conflict and to say, okay, siyaxabana manje, but let's talk about this. What are you saying to me? And I need to receive what you're saying to me. To say, no, dude, wrong. Like
on 1, 2, 3.
Yes, you are unfair. You are this. You are that. You hurt me this way, and I must receive that, and then be able to come back to you and then say, I think this is why I acted this way. It's not my intention to hurt you. That's not how I want us to relationship.
What parts of your healing? I said I love that when you were speaking about the letter, because I love that you took healing upon yourself. You were doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
Because you realized how deep you could cut the next person.
Yes.
And that takes a lot of courage, dog.
Really?
That takes a lot of courage. I don't want to lie. I think my sense of healing or my journey to healing started in the weirdest way you can ever even imagine. It started on the day we laid my grandfather to rest.
Oh, wow.
I think my biological dad and my stepdad met for the first time officially. And it was so awkward for me.
And how long had your stepdad been in your life then?
Let me count. 12, 13 years.
Sure.
12, 13
And
years
here's
of
this
my
man
life.
raising your daughter and you're meeting them for the first time.
Yeah, he
13
definitely
years
knew
later.
about him, but never really
Met him.
officially. And they officially met on the day where I needed them the most.
See that, but that's crazy. Before we go back to that,
Yeah.
it's so crazy how like our dads say they love us, but there's another human being raising your child. Yeah, you know that they exist, but are you not interested in meeting them to just gauge their character, to say
To make
is
sure if your child is even
is
safe. Or
with
are you
this
just
person?
trusting their mother?
Anyway, as you were.
Yeah, that one is another tricky one. But yeah, I think that's when it started. I started healing because I made peace with the fact that, you know what, whatever feelings I have towards my biological dad have no place in my heart.
Oh, wow.
If my stepdad could take on such a big responsibility of raising a daughter when he doesn't have a child himself.
Wow. So you were your stepdad's first?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And only princess, because after me,
Wow.
my little brother came. But like, he learned how to be a father with me.
Oh, wow.
He didn't have to, but he still did,
Yeah.
right? And here comes my biological dad, who knows that this man stepped up when he couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And they've put all their differences aside, their egos and everything, and they shook hands on the day where my heart had probably been broken a million times that week as my mom and I were mourning my grandfather, right? And nothing else mattered in that moment. All that brought them together was, here are two people that need us in this moment.
Or you. Dare I argue just you. Here's this one person that needs me in this moment, so here I am.
You know? And I that's when I was like, if my stepdad is not mad, my mom is not mad,
Why am I mad?
why am I mad?
Yeah.
Why the hell why have I been mad this whole time?
Yeah.
You know? And at no point has my stepdad even stopped me from having a relationship with my dad. My stepdad is the kind that says, oh, you miss your dad? Oh, here are the cookies.
Go. You know where he lives.
And he doesn't even mind me using his own car.
Yeah.
On some, well, you have a dad. I am not here to replace your dad.
Did you
I'm
ever
just
have
here to
that
love you.
conversation with your stepdad?
Ever, never.
Huh.
Never, ever. But it's with his actions
Yeah.
that were so foretelling that I didn't have to.
Yeah.
I just knew.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, like they and then this part also, the podcast, is also that part of healing where I'm just like, I feel like I need to relate.
Are you ever going to invite your dad to sit here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Too many people have asked that.
Yeah,
Oh my
because I'm thinking now, actually,
I
like,
owe you guys a 2-hour special
the
of that.
one person who's responsible for this, is he ever going to sit here?
I think both of them.
Okay.
I'm going to have both of them. And I'm still trying to see if I want them both on the same episode. I want separate episodes with them. But yeah, so many questions that I always asked myself as a child. I wanted to see and find out if other people had the same questions. And I think as I was doing research for this podcast and it was in its formative periods and phases, I realized I'm no weekend special. Sibaningi.
Oh, join the line.
Oh, Sibaningi.
Join
And
the
for the
club.
longest time, I thought,
You're alone.
yeah, I thought I was alone. I thought, why me? Like, also because my other siblings, I'm the firstborn, so my other siblings experienced him as a father in one home. They had a mother, they had a father in the same home. As for me, I never had one day of that.
Yeah.
Not even one day of it.
Yeah.
And so here I was thinking, damn, is this some kind of punishment? Is there something I did?
Yeah.
Who do I blame also?
Yeah.
Is it something that my mom did that drove him away? Or is it something that he did that he didn't? You know, all of these questions, I said, the only way I could find healing is by writing, because that's when I started journaling after my grandfather's funeral. Journaled. And at some point I thought it would actually turn into an actual book that I would author.
Okay.
And here we are, it turned into a podcast instead.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why I said I love it when you basically said, I took my own steps alone to my own healing. I owe it to myself, not to your mom, not to your dad. And you also mentioned that you want to be a father.
I do.
What role did that play in wanting to heal yourself for the children that then come from you?
Sure. Firstly, let's talk about the weekend special thing. I think that's also like another thing, because then you realize, right? When you realize that I'm not unique, right? You then think to yourself, then how long am I gonna harbor this anger? Because then it means there are others who die by pet, and I'm not gonna do that.
I'm not gonna die with this hatred. No,
I'm not gonna do that.
Also, it hinders you from certain parts of living.
Yeah, part of which is then sometimes we then decide we don't want to be parents. Because when you speak to a lot of people who don't want children, a big part of why they don't want children is because they carry traumas and they feel like, this is not for me. I don't even want to say I love kids because I think that's a lie. I don't know.
To the kids watching this out, but like...
like you enough to have you. I don't know. I think I first had to interrogate, why do I want to have kids? And my mom always says something so profound. She always says, at some point, you need to have something to live for. And that can manifest in different ways. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it must manifest in children. Having something to live for, you could choose that for you. It's your work. It could be really whatever. For me, I think the legacy I want to leave is a better place through human beings. I've got a lot of love to give, I think. And I know I've got incredible capacity to love my children, but also I want to have good human beings who, the world needs good human beings. And I want to contribute like that to society, which is crazy because maybe it's got an element of selfishness because these kids didn't ask to be here. So who said I wanted to be a good human being?
Why do you want me to be a good person?
Also,
be a good person yourself.
Yeah, you be a good person. No. I've got a lot of love to give and I want to give it. I think, just...
Funny, our reasoning for having children, they're both weird. Because my reasoning is curiosity.
Oh.
I wonder what I look like in the next body. Like, I want to see myself in the next person. I want to see how the combination with my partner is going to work out.
And if they look nothing like you?
I mean, I'd be sad, sure, but I'm sure they're going to be part of me there.
You hope.
So I'm just,
you hope.
No, that child better not take everything from their dad.
No, man. Ayanda was sitting here.
Yes.
And he was saying that when his kids were born, he was just like,
dad.
my dad. Imagine what his partner felt like.
No.
Okay.
Those kids better laugh like me, yeah? And I always tell my partner, I'm just like, they can take your eyebrows because he has nice eyebrows like yours. Actually, yes, they're very bushy and full. I'm just like, jealous. Why do men need eyebrows?
Because you guys fiddle with yours.
No, I have nothing to fiddle with.
We don't know what they look like before you started fiddling, so...
Oh my God. I'm not having this conversation with you.
Okay, fine.
But I'm just like, they can take your eyebrows. My eyes look better. They can take my eyes. No, your nose is too big. I need them to take my nose. And I'm just like, I wonder how all of these things that I obviously am wishing for and probably talking to God about, what's going to be God's final decision?
Quick question then. So until where does your curiosity go? Because when
5
they're
years.
born... No, so let's say 5 years. Now they're 5 and now there's this human being and maybe they have your ears, maybe they've got your toes, which no one will ever see really. Then what?
Then I'm just like, well, you were fine. Let's get another one.
Oh.
Let's see how this
Let's try this again.
Yeah, let's see how the next outcome is gonna
You are diabolical. You are diabolical.
And then that's where I draw the line. Because 2 outcomes is enough to even out. Oh, okay. The first one looked like the dead. Okay, this one looks like me. And then the characters, the characters mix and match.
And then where does the parenting kick in?
The parenting will kick in. Oh, shame. I don't want to lie. I think the parenting will kick in already from the get-go. Also because your mom's wise words, something to live for. The year I started praying for children, believe it or not, was in my internship year.
Oh, wow.
It was the longest time of my life.
Oh, how time flies.
Oh, right. Oh, my goodness. So I'm done with my honors. I'm doing my internship. I've worked hard. I've kept myself. I've done everything by the book. I've done everything good. But I come back to an empty apartment. And nobody, at the time, my partner was just a friend at the time. We were not dating. So I really was not in a relationship. And there is not even one person to even ask me, how was your day?
Oh, wow.
That broke my heart. I remember the prayer was literally that, oh, to God, I did everything by the book.
Yeah.
I studied.
Yeah.
I have 2 degrees. I have a job.
But I'm alone.
But I come back home and nobody's asking how my day was.
Sure.
And they're genuinely interested.
Yeah. Sure.
I don't think this was worth it.
Sure.
And I think I was mad at the time. I was like, I don't think this was worth it. And as I was praying, it turned from anger to now acceptance. And then finally surrendering to be like, you know what? Over to you.
Yeah.
I don't know what my future looks like, but I know you would not have me feel this lonely forever.
100%.
And I do, till today, still imagine coming home and from the sound of my car parking in the driveway, there's somebody already calling, Mommy, Mommy.
There's excitement.
Oh, that day. I'm not even going to answer your texts. Yes, I'm blue ticking you. I will answer you when the kids are at the grannies. But I think it's just that one part of my life where I'm just like, I feel like I've studied. I feel like I've done everything that I had on the book. Because they said you go study and then you find a partner and then you get married and then you have kids. Okay.
Where? Still waiting.
I'm here.
Still waiting.
I've done my bit.
Yeah.
Where does the universe now meet me? Where does
Yeah.
God meet me in terms of, you've done your part, my baby. Let me just give you something to cheer you up on days where you feel like you want to just lock yourself in. Now I successfully lock myself in my apartment the whole day with curtains closed, the lights off. I'm just like, I want somebody or something that's going to kick me out of this mode every now and again, because I know how unhealthy it is for it to be such routine.
Whew. That's so true.
I know.
Funny because I do the same. I can stay in and not speak to anyone and speak for the first time I don't know when. It's crazy. It actually is crazy. But I put it to you that, one, I think maybe this platform is a healing mechanic for both you and I. And I put it to you that our traumas haven't taken everything from us. And that's why we want to be parents, because we know what a healthy, or we in our minds know what a healthy parent-child relationship looks like, and we want to give that to somebody else. I don't think we're going to scar our kids. If anything, I think we're going to smother them.
Oh, I'm going to call you out if you do.
Yeah, I think we're going to...
Hold me to account.
Yeah, 100%. So I think maybe this is just a step towards that, because we want to be parents. This is a step, maybe God saying, okay, let's check if they're really ready. Even next year I'd do it, eh?
Please, now.
Yeah, even
let's
now
start trying now.
Yeah,
why
I'd
are we
do
not
it.
trying?
Yeah, why are we not?
Why are we not
Yeah.
trying? Like, I think that's also going to be some kind of restoration that we never thought we needed.
Yeah.
The parts that probably have lacked over the years. I know it's a big responsibility to give to people who are not even here yet, but there's also that where God restores in His own ways.
100%.
And if we find the restoration in our kids,
But funny when we
even more
speak about the
amazing.
restoration, like what you just said now, to say at some point she surrendered and said, Lord, you know what, I surrender to you, whatever it is. That's how I feel even about having kids, right? Because I watch TV, I'm like, what if my child is a delinquent? What if my child is the one that bites others in the playground?
And bullies.
No. Yeah. What if my child is the bully? And I'm like, I don't think our parents could have, like, it's not through their might. It's not through how strict they were or how intelligent they were. I think it really purely was God. And I've also then just said, I surrender that to you. I don't know who they are. I don't know if they are going to love me as much as I love them. I don't know who I'm having them with.
Hey, Kosiam,
Yeah,
there's also that
there's
part.
also that part. But what I do know is that I promise to love them. And Lord, I promise to give them over to you. And I hope you'll give me good ones. Even if they bite others, I hope there are lessons there and they'll be good human beings.
Genuinely good human beings.
Genuinely good human beings.
And you have a letter for us to show us that you are the good human being here.
I do have a letter. I do have a letter.
Can I just say, I've been waiting for this letter
Why?
for a couple of days. I even had to send him a reminder because I was like,
I just really hope you're not disappointed in this letter.
what? No, I doubt
But
it.
it's a letter to my dad, so what business do you have being disappointed?
Exactly. As long as it's from the heart. I literally told him that. I was like, as long as it's from the heart.
Yeah. I saw Ayanda penned down his.
Oh, please, old school.
I write letters, right? There's an ex of mine I wrote a letter to and I penned it down.
He
but I
left
was
letter. Mncedisi.
it was a breakup letter. But,
Which year was this?
Yo. Okay, let me read.
You are stressing me.
Let me read.
Okay, sorry.
I wrote this on my phone. I called it a letter to my father. Dear Dad, it's crazy how I never imagined myself penning down such a letter to you, but here I am. I guess it's because I just never thought you'd receive it well, but I've realized that even though I'm writing it to you, this is for me and not for you. What a whirlwind it's been getting to where we are now. There are times I never regarded you as my father, and I thought our relationship wouldn't survive because you did disown me. And I was like 12, bro.
How do you disown a 12-year-old?
Oh. It's interesting how it's true that emotional lashings build resistance because at some point I stopped feeling anything for you. I built up so much resentment because I realized I didn't deserve the way you treated me. And I thought I didn't need you until I realized at 18 that I found myself looking for a father figure in any man who demonstrated guidance and love for family. That still happens even today, but I guess healing is a journey. I gravitate to these, like when I walk into a space and there's an authoritative male figure, I always wonder, what if that was my dad? Crazy, but hey. I guess I just never understood and maybe still don't understand why you had to make me carry the emotional burden of an adult when I was just a child. I was very curious, I admit, and the answers I got were to questions I asked, but I was just a child. I had no business being put in the middle of you and mom and being asked by you to choose. I understand that you were frustrated and you were looking for vindication, but it wasn't my burden to carry. A large part of my anger came from how you treated mom. I don't think she deserved that, but I've come to realize that it's not my anger to harbor. I'm grown now and have relationships of my own. I get how tricky and complex they can be. I get how sometimes we don't show up as the best versions of ourselves and that intention and action are often, or more often than not, misaligned. I won't lie and say it didn't traumatize me, but I forgive you for that. You'll never carry me on your shoulders again or teach me how to drive. I'll never get to experience what it's like to have you help me get ready for my matric dance or to drop me off at varsity for the first time. A large part of growing up and having to work out my scars and feelings involved accepting that these are the cards that God dealt me and that eventually, if I truly wanted peace, I had to forgive you. I've fully found my faith now, and those principles govern how I navigate my relationships. So, I see you, Dad. Before, I used to see a man with many kids with similar scars, but that's not how I choose to see you anymore. Now, I see the firstborn son who had to take care of his siblings. I see the first-time father who had no idea what he was doing. I see the hurt man who felt no one was in his corner. I see the man trying who felt his best wasn't good enough. I see the father longing for a relationship with a son who will understand him and vice versa. I see a human being with his own scars and traumas. Because I see you now, I can also thank you. I can thank you for your affection And thank you that when you speak to me about it, you say you tried your best. I choose to believe that. I now choose to look ahead, to be in your corner, because that's the kind of son I want to be. I choose to be hopeful that we'll have many other first times together, like you meeting my future spouse and your future grandchildren. I choose to be optimistic about getting to know you and you getting to know me as men who choose each other intentionally. I love you always, Dad. Love. Hlaiseka. Hlaiseka is the name my dad gave me.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yay!
Yay!
Healing. I like that you acknowledge that healing takes different forms.
Yeah.
And it is a journey.
Yeah.
And I hope that this journey does not end here. Yeah.
No.
I hope you and I are going to speak one day and you're going to be like, hey, he's walking me down the aisle. That man. I am looking forward to a day and a time where he also finally says, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We don't know what that's going to take.
Yeah.
But I really hope, because I truly believe you also deserve that apology.
Aww.
You were just a 12-year-old.
I really was.
You really just a baby.
I really was.
But I'm also glad we didn't cry.
No, and can I tell you why? It's because I think I'm emotionally stunted now. Like when you go through so much as a kid, like very little gets to you.
Now
So
you're just like,
it's very difficult for me to
keep it
cry.
moving.
Yeah.
Man.
I feel the emotions, but it's hard to get me to
fully express them.
Ah,
Not even once.
no.
Okay. No,
I
okay.
feel it though.
That much. But how do we know you're feeling it?
Sure, I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know.
Now we're on a mission together. We need to see Mncedisi cry. Please help me make Mncedisi
And if I
cry.
don't stop,
anything, then we have a supply of tissues. We've got you. Please, just make sure every time you bump into him that you have tissues and you try as much as possible to make him cry. I have a feeling that there's a part of healing that really just requires the tears.
that is true. I agree.
It just
That
needs you
is
to
true.
just...
No, I do cry, right? But like this doesn't make me cry anymore.
Okay.
I cried about it enough.
In therapy also.
In therapy.
Okay. No, I got
you. I cried about this. No.
Then that brings us to the end of yet another episode filled with honest stories, conversations that are meant to heal and soothe the heart, and probably even go a longer way than just you watching. Maybe this might be your cue to share this episode to your dad and hear what he thinks, because you might have just seen him in what Mncedisi's story was basically narrating in this episode. I wish you and myself much more healing from the father wound. That's it from me, your podcast host, Keamogetswe Matlala, dressed by YST, connected by Oppo. Till the next one. Oh, we're clocking it. Okay.
Okay, clock it. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.